Welcome back to the Ed Block Courage Cast. I'm Dave Conwettle, joined and honored. This is an honor for me to sit here and get to talk to 2001 Ed Block Courage Award recipient from the Indianapolis Colts. He's very famous, Peyton Manning. Peyton, thank you for taking some time. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
We appreciate the time. I'm going to start with this because I ask everybody that's ever been an Ed Block recipient, what does it mean to you to be an Ed Block Courage Award recipient?
Well, it was a great honor because, at the time when I won, I was playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, Eddie Block, started with the Baltimore Colts. And so I was aware of his legacy. The Colts trainers, Hunter Smith, Dave Hammer, used to talk about Eddie Block. And then knowing all of the previous winners of the Ed Block Courage Award, I was honored to join that list.
Where do you have the trophy? I always love to ask this question.
My trophy's made a little move from Indianapolis to Denver. And, when you have kids, sort of your me room seems to kind of dwindle a little bit. And you have more pictures of your wife and kids, which is what you should do, which is the way it's supposed to be. So, but it's here at our house in Denver.
I love that. A lot of the reason why we have you on, Peyton, is the passing of Jim Irsay. And just take me through, what did it feel like when you got the news that Jim had passed?
Well, listen, we all knew that Jim hadn't been feeling great this past year. Saw him last at the Colts game. They put Dallas Clark in the Ring of Honor. Saw him at Dwight Freeney's Hall of Fame induction in Canton. So we had been in touch via text. But look, very sad to hear. Jim Irsay was great to me, great to the city of Indianapolis, cared about his community, cared about his team, cared about his players, cared about the NFL. And I'll always be indebted to him for giving me my start in the NFL. He was at the draft in New York when the Colts drafted me. He handed the card to the commissioner, which told me how invested he was going to be into making the Indianapolis Colts a winning organization. And it was an honor to play for him, and he will be missed dearly.
I was going to say, and I wanted to ask about this, because the player-owner relationship dynamic is always changes between the player. What was it like for you with Jim? Was it a sort of an open door, like you could go talk to him anytime?
Yeah, certainly Jim was that way with all his players. But, as a player, you always want to kind of go through the chain of command. So, you always want to start kind of with your quarterback's coach, your coordinator, your head coach, general manager, and then the owner. You never want to skip those people. But, Jim and I played golf together. And like I said, he loved his players. He was out there at practice. His office was at the Colts, Colts facility on 56th Street. And he was present, right? I think players want to play on teams where the owner is there every day. He's present. He's in the locker room after games, at home, on the road. And so Jim was that way. And look, the answer was yes with Jim. If some kind of proposal was made that, Jim, this is going to help us win, the answer was yes with him. And that's why our general manager, Bill Polian, liked working for him, and Tony Dungy liked coaching for him, because the answer was yes if it was going to help us win.
You mentioned Dave Hammer a little earlier, talking about the Ed Block Award. Dave Hammer's retiring.
Yep.
And we always love to talk with you guys, with ex-players, about that relationship with the trainers. What does Dave Hammer mean to you?
Dave was great. Always helping me. Had my fair share of injuries, and spent a lot of early mornings and kind of, after practice hours with Dave. Those guys, they do not have an 8-to-5 job. It is all hours available, because players always are having injuries, and Dave was doing whatever he could to help players get back out on the field and help our team win. But had a great friendship and relationship with Dave. Sent him a note, sent him a gift certificate to St. Elmo's Steakhouse the other day for his retirement, and wish him all the best in his next chapter. But always very grateful for what Dave did for me in my career.
Peyton, I know we don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to ask this question as we get you out of here. I always love asking the welcome to the NFL moment. You were a first-round pick. What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Oh, you probably have a few of them. There's always probably a hit or two by Junior Seau or Bruce Smith that kind of is a little welcome. 3 interceptions against the Dolphins in your first game. That's probably a little bit of a welcome to the NFL moment. Came back to Baltimore and played my rookie year. First time the Indianapolis Colts had returned to Baltimore, and Ray Lewis hit me a couple times there. So I can think of several. It seems like it involves linebackers and defensive ends, and me ending up on the ground is kind of my welcome to the NFL moment.
Well, Peyton, I greatly appreciate the time that you have given us. I know you're very busy, so I don't want to hold you anymore. Thank you for taking some time and joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, we have more Ed Block Courage Cast in a moment.